Well, it's going to be a fabulous night. We are talking about the Fire Aid concert happening here in Edmonton, June 29th. That's this Wednesday, and I'm here with Alan Watt with the Edmonton Eskimos. Tell us a little bit about everything that's gone into creating this event.
Well, I don't know if we have enough time, but I'll give you the sort of
fast-tracked version.
Yeah, the elevator speech. First of all, the brick field at Commonwealth Stadium was selected because of its size. And secondly, it came about as a result of what happened in the big floods in Calgary. They did a flood aid concert, and 2 or 3 of the people who were heavily involved in that decided that they would approach a number of people in Edmonton to see if that was a good idea. And of course, you know, who could say no? Especially when we looked at the lineup that they had spoken about. So that's how it got started. And then the next point was to go to the city of Edmonton, because they're after all the landlord here at the brick field, and they were supportive of it as well. So once you had those 3 elements, so a good idea, people who are willing to step forward and find entertainment and acts, and people like Blue Rodeo and Nickelback, then you have something. And then after that, it was it's logistics and ticket selling, tickets. In our business, football business, and in the concert business, tickets are king. And so the next step in that was to find 2 or 3 people, and I think they found the right 3. In president of the Edmonton Eskimos and CEO Len Rhodes, they found Tim Reed, the president and CEO of Northlands, and Bob Nicholson, the president and CEO at Oilers Entertainment Group. And they said, we'll chair it. We'll use our horsepower and our credence in the community to go out there and say, this is a good idea, and we think you should buy a ticket. And that's pretty much what's happened.
Good. And I hear so far the ticket sales are going well. We don't know exact numbers, but things are sounding very positive.
Well, as you get closer and closer to concerts, the tickets, things start to, they can gallop on you, and that's good. The weather's supposed to hold, although one of the things they said that Fort McMurray during the fires was praying for rain, and so are we, but I prefer sunny. But yes. So Wednesday will be, I think, really neat. And the acts, of course, there's 12 acts, and wow. I think there's something there for everyone. And the acts of all, the entertainment, the bands of all contributed their time. There's no fees to any of them, as there is for the rest of us who are out there. And I'm speaking on behalf of a very big organizing committee that's worked really hard on sponsorship, on tickets, and on backstage catering and all that kind of stuff. So if the concert happened at noon any day up until the day of the concert, it would still be considered a great success. But 4 o'clock on the 29th, we'll take that as a start time.
Alan, tell us a little bit about where the money is going for this concert. As you mentioned, a lot of the bands are donating their time. The services are being donated. This is a huge fundraiser for Fort McMurray victims.
Well, that was another part of it. The mayor of the Wood Buffalo region and Fort McMurray, Melissa Blake, also agreed to be of as much help as she could. She agreed to be an honorary chairperson, and she has. And she's leaned in on it a couple of times, thankfully. And then the other thing that she did was say that when all is said and done and people get back to Fort McMurray, and they are back now, a lot of them, not all of them, and the ones that are back are settling in, and the ones that aren't back or are just getting back might not have a place to settle into, and that will be dealt with. But then there are the long-range implications, which the United Way in any community, a good United Way, and they have one in Fort McMurray, they deal with all of that. When they see somebody sitting in front of ashes on a curb crying because they've lost pretty much everything, they have a way of picking them up and dealing with that. And so she asked if the money would go to the United Way, and we said absolutely. So that's where it's going. The funds, the net funds from this will go to the United Way in Fort McMurray.
There we go. Alan, thank you so much for your time. Alan Watt with the Edmonton Eskimos, the Fire Aid Concert, Wednesday, June 29th here at Commonwealth Stadium.